Millions of Canadians don't have access to the internet or cell phone service. A massive outage is affecting a number of Rogers services across the country.
It's July 8th, 2022, and you might be one of the 10 million Canadians that woke up to absolutely nothing. No internet, no 911, businesses grind to a halt, hospitals are in a scramble, and even Tim Hortons can't take your order. The culprit? Rogers Communication, a telecom giant that once ruled Canada's airways, now leaving millions stranded in the digital dark for over a full day. And what did they offer? A measly $5 credit and a shrug. No real answers, just silence. In 1960, a young 27-year-old Ted Rogers would start a radio station called CHFI. He planted the seed for what would become Canada's telecom empire. Ted wasn't just a suit. He was a visionary with a knack for seeing the future. Ted launched Cantel in 1985, Canada's first cell phone network, those clunky brick phones that screamed, "I'm calling from the future." He didn't stop there. Ted would scoop up cable companies, wiring Canadian homes for TV and internet before most knew what internet was. His secret? He cared about connecting people, not just cashing checks. Employees loved him. Stories from the 80s talk about Ted walking around the floors of Rogers, chatting with technicians, remembering their names. That personal touch at the time made Rogers feel like a family, not a corporation, which it is today. So you gotta ask yourself, how did this happen? What went wrong? How did Rogers, which was once beloved by the Canadian people, become so hated? How did it become a company that doesn't have to answer to the Canadian people if it has a massive outage that lasts over 24 hours? How did it become a company that has massive long wait times for people that call in when they have questions or concerns? How is it that they don't even have to hire Canadian citizens anymore? How is it that they don't have to treat their employees right or pay fair wages to those who are working so hard to maintain their network? How did it go from being one of the best companies in this country to what it is today, one of the most complained about companies? A company that doesn't care about the Canadian people, a company that only cares about its profit.
Well, Rogers today officially bought Shaw, completing the $26 billion acquisition of its longtime Western rival.
When Ted passed in 2008, Rogers lost its soul. New leadership took over, but the vision faded. They kept growing, snapping up Shaw in 2023 for $20 billion, but at what cost? Debt skyrocketed to $36.3 billion. Customers started gripping about $100 phone plans and a spotty service. A 2021 outage left thousands disconnected, a warning and a sign of bigger trouble. Without Ted's personal touch, Rogers felt just like another corporation, chasing profits over people. Canadians sensed it. Through Twitter was buzzing with complaints about bills and services. The empire Ted built was starting to crack.
Rogers is a great brand. We've got a great business group and a product set that Dean and the team have built that we are now a credible choice for business.
Despite being one of the most complained about companies in the country, Rogers decides to pay its CEO over $30 million. That's about double the amount than fellow Canadian scumbag Galen Weston makes. How they make it all possible is by slashing jobs. In 2024 alone, Rogers slashed nearly 2,000 jobs, including customer service teams across Ontario, BC, and beyond. Worse, they decided to outsource to places like India and Casablanca, with Twitter claiming Rogers even hid call centers from us. Recently in 2025, a Reddit post became popular after an employee was laid off by the company. It highlights that management told them to specifically stay quiet about this, because they knew it was wrong on so many levels and pure scum. The post alleged that 1,000 plus Canadian jobs were replaced by AI. Rogers promised 3,000 new jobs in Western Canada after the Shaw merger, but reports say they've cut more than they've created. And when outages hit, they dodge accountability, hiding behind AI chatbots like Anna that loop you for 25 minutes. Ted built trust. Today's Rogers builds resentment with the Canadian people. With $50 billion in debt and a stock hitting 2009 lows in 2025, they're a shadow of the giant they once were. I like to think if Ted Rogers was around today, this nonsense wouldn't be a thing. You wouldn't have Canadian telecom giant outsourcing its work to other countries just to save a buck. There wouldn't be massive outages that impact our emergency services or businesses that rely on Interact payments through Rogers Business. This wouldn't be a thing if Ted was around today. Today's Rogers is just a fallen giant, outsourcing jobs, dodging answers, and leaving Canadians disconnected. Are they able to rebuild trust, or is this the end of the line? Drop your worst Rogers story in the comments, and smash the subscribe button for more Canadian chaos.